How are you?
Nervous, but okay, thank you.
Are you really?
Yes.
Now,
you?
is that a little bit?
Yeah.
But it isn't as if we've never met, because we did meet once.
We did meet in a dingy hotel room.
Right. So you're Jack Lemmon.
Yes. And you're Fred Astaire. Or is it Orson Welles?
I'm not Fred Astaire. Yoko, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good, good, okay. Is there anything that you want to know about me to start off with that we could, just to sort of get the...
What do you do for a living?
To get the... Actually, this is my profession.
I know you lived here.
Yeah, I practically do. I hardly ever get out of here. The chair collapses into a bed, and
it must be hard.
It's a bad. Do you have my kind of show
In England.
all over the world? I mean,
they're
you've been
not
everywhere.
quite as good, you know.
They what?
They're not quite as good in England at repartee, you know.
Why is this?
Well, they're more inhibited, that's all.
The
You know, they don't have anybody that would sort of freak out a little.
Yeah.
Unless Jerry Rubin comes on, you know.
Oh yeah, Rubin came over and disrupted a show done by I can never think of the guy's name.
David Dost?
David Drost.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was very exciting.
Yeah, it was a very exciting show, actually.
What actually happened? They came in and broke up the studio?
They broke up the studio, and David ended up in the audience to show that he wasn't with the young people, you know, which shows where he is at, really.
Out
Nothing
there.
personal, David, wherever you are, red light.
You know, I had a terrible feeling that my hair was going to be longer than yours. It's a funny thing, because I met you the other day. The recent pictures I'd seen of both of you, yours is extremely long, Yoko, and yours, John, was very long. And of course, people going around saying, you know, I can't tell which one is which and all. You know,
Yes.
that sort of
Well,
witticism.
last year I cut mine. We both cut it right off down to about a quarter of an inch, 69 or 70, I can't remember, because I just suddenly realised it wasn't functional, you know, to have it. When I had it down here, you just have to keep washing it and combing it. You know.
Yeah.
So then I chopped it all off, and then it just grew a bit, and then I just let it grow to this length.
What's your favorite length, Yoko? Are you at it right now?
Well, it depends, you know. We like change, and we just don't want to stick to one.
Who wants the same old haircut every day, you know?
No.
That's
Have a different one every few months. You know?
That's my feeling. Did you save the hair by any chance?
One time we cut it, we gave it to some Michael Malik, who was running a sort of black house in London, which wasn't exactly a Black Panther thing, but I think it was something to do with it. And they were just having a community centre in London, and we sort of symbolically gave it them. They were going to auction it off at wherever you auction hair off, you know.
Yeah.
That's quite nice.
That big place in London, I can't remember the name.
Sotheby's?
Yeah, that's it. It never happened though, but it was a symbolic gesture, really.
So you don't.
Solidarity. Dim.
And that hair today then is missing.
Gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
Silly, isn't it? Oh, we're going to do this all the
we spent
time.
this much time.
It's gone already.
Yoko, do you have fun when you're over here in this country?
Oh, yes, very much. Because after all, this is my second hometown.
Yeah.
She lived here for 10 years.
People are surprised. They often say she speaks very good English. But you've been here a lot.
But some people ask me, well, can you speak Japanese? And then I get very offended, you know, because
Can you
I am
speak Japanese? Yeah.
You know.
Now you've offended her, haven't you?
Get me out of this, John.
Well, funny thing happened on the way in tonight.
It never has to me.
Nor me.
Not once in my life.
Nothing happened.
You want to tell him
whatsoever.
about that story, you know, whenever they talk to us and then they're not listening and then you start about that elephant.
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that.
Have you, I suppose you get it too. When
Private
people
joke
meet
between
you,
us,
Sure.
you know, like in a restaurant or anywhere, when you're trying to order something, you find that they're so struck by, oh, is it really you, that they don't really hear your order, you know. So when I'm talking to them, I'm saying, I'd like a steak, medium, and 2 elephants came and a policeman bit my head off and a cup of tea, please. And they're saying, yes, thank you.
It really is like
Because
that.
they're not listening, you know. Probably half of them aren't listening now, which is a good thing, I suppose.
That's a terrible feeling,
Yeah.
to think that they're never listening at all.
Well, it's surreal, you know. I don't mind that.
Have you ever had elephant actually brought to you by someone who was listening?
And bit the policeman's head off quite often, yes. It's an old Anglo custom. You know.
I'll believe anything. You like being over here, I gather. I have had some English guests on. What do you think of yourself as English, first of all? Let's establish that.
Well, sometimes, I mean, if you ask talking about being over here or being over there, then I think, well, I'm from over there, you know.
Yeah.
But I normally think in terms of, I suppose I think in cliques and things like other people, like musicians and or long hairs and or under 30, over 30, etc., etc. And being married to a Hawaiian, it makes you sort of more international, you know? Sorry about that.
So we sort of
Must be a
kid
mistake
each
in my
other,
notes.
you
Well,
know?
people think of us as, especially in England, not so much here, we get a bit more respect in America as artists, but back home, I think it's the case for all artists, back home it's a bit like, I'm the man that won the pools and lucky guy who had a spot of luck and married a Hawaiian actress, you know, and which isn't true, really. Do you get it?
Kid each other. Because I'm from Japan and he's from England, so somehow we found out that we're sort of passionately patriotic sometimes, you know, and we get, well, no, I mean, that's Japanese made, or no, I mean, you know, English are the first ones to
I mean,
do
we
this
invented
and all
radar
that,
and
you know.
penicillin, you know. But it's a fan turning into a hard hat, you see, when we start discussing, you know, well, we're both islands, and we're both little, and we both did this, and we both did that. And we find ourselves turning quite fascist discussing it.
You do.
Made in Hong Kong and all that.
Yeah. And you do jokes with each other, and you kid her about...
Always laughing, Dick.
Are you? Did you and laugh?
After
No.
this...
I mean, would you stoop to, you know, Pearl Harbor jokes and that
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
thing?
I do all that, yeah. I saw speak English, English
The
pig.
kabuki thing.
Oh yeah, there's a
You know
kabuki
about
theatre in
kabuki,
Japan,
don't
and
you?
they have
I
a
know.
massive stage, and on stage they have the musicians with them, and
You
all
see
the
it
men
only
play the
once,
parts,
though,
you see,
yes.
and all the men play the women's part. They go, so that's kabuki, you see. I learned it after only one sitting.
It's very good.
Even Japanese,
do you know what it is?
They start to laugh when he does that, because it really is Japanese when he does that. I mean, kabuki, you know.
Only our hip
Very
nips will
kabuki.
notice how funny it is, actually.
There are two of them in Utah breaking up right now.
And I've seen one on TV with yellow glasses, and he calls himself the hip nip, and he pretended to be Italian in the war, I
Just
remember.
laughing.
Is
funny,
is
though.
Mr. Lennon putting me on?
I don't know.
Ito-san ni minkayu shita no desu ka?
Ah!
Was sind die drei besten Dinge von der ganzen Welt?
Yo hablo poquito español.
¿Qué pasa?
Now that we're through making fun of each other's nationalities and other people's, you were saying.
Yes, I just discovered, you know, so John was saying that he discovered that I chain smoke through this article that he was reading about me, you know. Somebody said I chain smoke. And
I
said,
had noticed
Ah,
before.
is that what it is now? And since then, you know, he never gets off that one. But I just noticed that I'm lighting another
You
one.
see the video that you chain smoking? Oh, smoking kills, you see.
It does. You know, you're setting a bad example
Didn't
for
work,
adults
John.
all over the world.
Didn't work, Arthur.
Does
talking
that
to
ever
Jan
happen
off.
to you, that you find out something about the other from something you read rather than
Oh,
actually?
sure. I mean, I began to suspect she chain smoked because every time I kiss her, I burnt my chin. But, and then I read it in an article. You
That's
see,
a wonderful delivery you've got. That's good. That's
Well,
good.
you know,
Yeah.
back on the boards.
Yeah. But what was I going to say just before that? Do you have any
Something about-
idea?
what was
We're
it?
talking about
What was it?
articles written about you and all that.
Oh,
sort of-
yes,
Well, I
that
know.
was-
I know where I was.
yes.
I know where I was.
What's that?
Earlier, I said you seem to like it here because I've had English guests on, British
Yeah,
guests,
that's
who said they come here because they're stifled over there and they can't work and they like the exhilaration here. Then I've had American writers
Yeah.
who have left America because they feel so menaced and threatened that they like the calm of London.
Yeah, well, somebody like Richard Chamberlain went over there and did very well, you know, going from the soap opera to Hamlet. And vice versa, I suppose people have come over here and broadened the scope. I think it's just a matter of you have a different kind of feeling when you're abroad, you know, maybe you can loosen up. But in Britain, we only have 2 channels of TV. And if you watch the old British movies on TV now here, it's the same old men always on TV in Britain still, you know. They have a sort of school of actors. There's about 3 new people got into the profession since I was 10. So it's a bit limiting, you know.
Oh, you do see all the same old faces.
But the best thing about British TV is the live stuff, you know, like plays and things like that. But it just goes off at 12, you know. So if you have a choice in England of either going out to dinner or watching TV, you can't do both, like. But with America, it's great. You just sort of wake up and it's on, and you get back after going out for an evening and it's still on. It's beautiful.
It's nice if you're sick.
I love
it. You know when you're sick and you're up
I'm
all night?
I'm always sick. That's why I like it so much. According to something I was reading.
British TV is all right, though, in a way. You know, they have all sorts of nice plays.
Well, it's not bad, my dear.
I'm getting used to British TV more than Japanese TV, of course, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I feel British sometimes, you know, that way.
Did your accent change slightly when you were in England?
I don't know.
Yeah.
People tell me that I have Liverpool accent now. And all
She used to have an American accent, being educated here at those funny schools.
Sarah Lawrence.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a funny place, isn't it?
Yeah, I was there.
Do you still have friends from Sarah Lawrence that you're in touch with?
Ah, well, there was one
Not
turned
really.
out to be a snide. Tell him about that.
A snide?
No, well,
Yes.
you see, a classmate of mine, sort of about 2 years ago, that was when we weren't really that famous that we were together, but
Yeah.
we
It
were
was
just
the first
getting...
article in America on us both
Yes,
since we got together.
it was very important for me,
In look.
actually, because I was introduced to America through that article, and she was a classmate of mine, so I thought, oh, that's nice. So she came, and I thought, well, you know, since we are friends, so I should cook for her and all that, and I made a nice lunch for her. And then she wrote that, what was it? That,
She said Yoko looked fat like an old witch cooking. She was 9 months pregnant and just had a miscarriage, and that
I resembled
Ernest Borgnine, you know. Well, you can see that she doesn't. And that was
I mean,
this old pal
I
that had
like him and
sneaked
all
in
that,
to
but,
see us on the thing.
You do like Ernest
Oh,
Borgnine?
no, I
pretext.
like...
I just want to say
Ernest
Betty
Borgnine.
Rollins' legs.
Was it Betty Rollin who
Yeah.
wrote the article? Oh.
Good old Betty, old pal of Yoko's. Betty
And
Rollins'
then
legs.
she said something about...
Betty Rollins' legs. Okay, I think we can leave that one out.
Some-
It's silly
something
to be so bitter, isn't it?
Oh, yes. There's something about her legs. I never noticed anything wrong with her legs when I was married to her.
Did you? You weren't looking, obviously. She kept them long skirts on all the time.
I was never. In
Weren't
fact,
you?
as a matter of fact, no, I wasn't. But
put
she
it
wrote an
on.
article recently in which she said I was delicious.
Well, maybe she's had a pill or something.
Right. But do you have? You don't go to reunions at Sarah Lawrence. You were only there about a year, then, I gather.
3 years, actually. Mhm.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to graduate, you know. I was one of those early dropouts. I just felt it was so ridiculous to go another year. I just couldn't stand it. And in those days, people said, well, it's so silly to not graduate, you know, that bit.
Because
I
you'll never
just
get a
couldn't-
job.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I was a bit afraid of that, of course.
You'll never
But-
make it. That's what they told me, too.
That if you didn't finish school.
One maths master wrote, you're on the road to failure if he carries on this way.
Do you ever see your old schoolmates?
No, I've seen a few old school friends, not teachers. No.
Yeah.
Most of them dislike me, except for one or two, you know. So I am always glad to remind them
Was there ever a
of
teacher
their
that?
own incredible awareness they had.
Was there ever a teacher who did inspire you?
Yes,
or
there was always one teacher in each school that would usually be an art teacher or an English language or literature kind of thing. If there's anything to do with writing or art, I was okay at it. Anything to do with science or maths, I just couldn't get it in, you know.
Yeah.
So, but most subjects were science and maths because supposedly they don't want artists, you know. Even at art school, they tried to turn me into a teacher. They tried to discourage you from painting and, you know, why not be a teacher? Because then you can paint on Sunday. I decided against it, you know.
You know, your drawings look a little like James Thurber's.
Well,
not a
I
lot,
used
but-
to love his stuff when I was a kid.
Oh, did
There
you?
was two
Stuff
people.
look like
yeah.
a bit like yours, you know, I think.
Well, he's older than me, so he came
Oh,
first,
see.
so I look like him. I used to
Right,
read
nice
those stuff
point.
when I was a kid. Three people I was very keen on: Lewis Carroll, Alice in Wonderland, Thurber, and an English drawer, or whatever you call him, called Ronald Searle.
Ronald Searle. Oh, we
Yeah.
get him over here.
Yeah. So when I was about 11, I was turned on to those three. When I was, well, I think I was about 15 when I started Thurberizing the drawings. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yes. That was my imitation of Nigel Bruce, one of your actors.
I saw.
Oh, really, Holmes? Remember he played Watson in the Sherlock Holmes movies?
Yes.
Oh, really, Holmes? It's dynamite, usually.
Ella Fitzgerald, dear Watson.
You thought it was Ella Fitzgerald?
No, Ella Fitzgerald, dear Watson. That's a pun on
Oh,
elementary.
Elementary, my dear Watson. That's
I get
right.
it, yeah.
Ella Fitzgerald. That's known as wordplay.
Yes, I'm
Oh, I
always
can
playing
play
with
that.
myself.
Sure.
Betty Rollins' legs.